Animal Crossing's community is a little split on exploiting the ways to trick mechanics of the game into your favor, like the infinite spawning of rare fish or tarantulas to make that big money. Whether you're for or against the use of these mechanics, I thought a video all about the different ways you can make good money without exploits was in order. Whatever way you like to play, hopefully one or more of these tips help you. Without further ado, my name is Hollow, and here are my top tips for making money in Animal Crossing. New Horizons actually provides the player with many solid daily ways to make bells. The more you make use of these and set up more and more methods, the more money you'll rake in every day. Naturally, for our first tip, you probably know about this one, the daily money rocks. Each day, one of the several rocks on your island will be a special money rock, dropping just over 16,000 bells if you don't miss a single hit, which is obviously good money per day. So make sure you check each rock per day to avoid missing this, and use the tried and tested method of the wall of holes. Basically, you just dig 3 holes behind you to form a sort of barrier, preventing you sliding too far away every time you hit the rock. The maximum times you can hit a rock within its time limit is 8, so you should be doing this every time to avoid missing any of the resources, or more importantly, any money rock drops. But did you know, for our second tip, that per each day reset, you get a free furniture drop? One of the many trees on your island stores a secret furniture item in it, and this will only appear when you shake the tree. So you better get out there and shake some trees. You never know when you might get an item you're after, or one that sells for some serious bells. So just like the money rock, this is another daily thing to do to make some money, especially if you make proper use of the hot item deal. Each day, the shop Nook's Cranny requests a new hot item. If you got one of these requested furniture items around, you could sell it for more than its normal worth. Or if you've got the materials, you could craft a whole bunch of them and sell them for some serious money. Since these hot items change every day, it isn't always going to be worth it for you. The resources you use to craft the item might just be too valuable to you right now compared to how much money you made. So it's always important that you consider that before making the sale and crafting a bunch, but sometimes these items are really easy to craft and are absolutely worth it. If that daily furniture drop you got for free just so happens to be the hot item, well, that's the dream right there. I do want to note as well that if it's nighttime, you should avoid using the box to sell outside Nook's Cranny. You actually lose about 20% of the original value of whatever item you're selling, so you should always wait until day when the shop is active. For our next tip, let's cover a common strategy to make bells: fishing and bug catching. Now obviously, catching fish and bugs is a reasonable and humble way to make money in Animal Crossing, but we want to make sure you're making the most of your time with these extra tips. You'll have the chance to find rare and expensive fish which spawn at specific places every month. Right now, in the month of April, you could catch both tuna fish and blue marlins at the same spot, the pier. On top of that, you can catch them at any time of the day, whether it's night or day, making an ideal duo to farm out. The tuna sells for 7,000 bells a pop, while the blue marlin are going for a whopping 10,000 bells. So rather than just wandering around randomly fishing around your island, instead head up and down the coastline on the beach and use your shovel to collect manila clams. You can turn one clam into one fish bait, which can then be used to spawn a fish wherever you throw that bait, like maybe the pier. Using this method correctly each month, fishing is a fantastic source of income. By fishing at the pier right now in April, or ocean, ponds, or Rhythm Isle specifically, whenever there's rare fish in that specific place, you can farm out rare fish and make serious bank. If you're not sure what fish you should be hunting this month, a fantastic source of information would be the wiki by gamewith.net, which I'll get Josh to link in the description, but I'll also include in a comment by me in the comment section. Plus, new in New Horizons is the beaver CJ, who will show up every 3rd Saturday. He runs the fishing tournament, which you might find a good way to make money fishing, but more importantly, after you compete in that, he offers to buy any fish you have for 1.5 times the price that Timmy and Tommy will buy it for. So if CJ is coming soon, you should save your fish for him. Now let's talk bugs. Just like fishing, it's always best to be catching rare and expensive bugs compared to common ones, but unlike fishing, that's a bit harder to set up when you don't have the advantage of fish bait. However, did you know that you can actually force rare flower-based bugs to spawn relatively easy? The rarer the flower, the more likely a rare bug associated with that flower will spawn. By setting yourself up with a field of flowers on your island, you can consistently farm flower bugs in one place every day, which is good, solid money. However, if you're smart, you'll set these flower fields up in a specific way, using the same type of flower and organizing the shape and color to produce rarer hybrid flowers. Using this wonderful crossbreeding guide, you can easily set up up your flower field of choice in a 5x5 grid. With any of these setups, you'll find a regular source of rare flower bugs right there, no bait required. Finally, just like fish, there's a regular visitor who will buy bugs for 1.5 times the price compared to Timmy and Tommy. Flick will randomly show up on your island, so you never know when he's going to show up really. But you won't need to perform any like fishing competition equivalent. He will just buy the bugs for his killer price right off the bat. He sticks around until 5 AM, so make sure you see him if he's ever around. For our next tip, we're talking about fruit. Every island starts with a native fruit. For me, it's peaches, so they don't sell for very much because they're common on my island. However, if I were to go to a mystery island or a friend's island and find a new fruit, these fruit would be known as sister fruit, and sister fruit sell for 500 bells a pop. So instead of just selling your first sister fruit that you found, it's a very good idea to plant a nice roster of sister fruit trees on your island and then regularly pick them up once they're fully grown to sell. If you're smart, you could have a long, beautiful roster of fruit that you're able to pick up each day and sell them. So this, on top of your daily money rocks, rare flower bug spawns, and hot item sales, will provide sizable income every day with pretty much very little effort involved once you've got your fruit farm set up. Now, similar to the daily money rocks, we also have access to the holes filled with gold, or well, bells. Each day, your island will have one special glowing spot denoted by its golden glowy aura. Now, if you dig up the spot, you'll be rewarded with a whopping 1,000 bells. Whoop-de-doo, a little underwhelming. However, instead of covering this hole up, you can actually plant money into this hole and grow a money tree. Whatever you plant will be triple when the money tree is fully grown. So if you were to put 10,000 bells into this hole, you will be rewarded with 30,000 bells in a few days, which is obviously very worth. This does have a strange sort of cap, as you'd expect, but it's quite debated. Supposedly, if you put more than 10,000 bells in, it's potentially a waste because you can't get more than 30,000 back. But as it turns out by players reporting this, it does work sometimes. So if you put the absolute most you can put in, which is 99,999 bells, then you could get just under 300,000 back. The truth is, it's a gamble. Sometimes it will reward you for an expensive plant, and sometimes when you put that 100,000 in, you get a 30,000 back no matter what. So you have three options when planting money trees. Play it safe and plant 10,000 to always get 30,000 and make 20k each time. Plant 30,000 to break even if it goes wrong, or potentially make 60,000 if it goes right. Or full gamble, full commit, put in 99,999 bells and hope you win big. Ultimately, it's up to you what you want to do and what you want to risk, but that's how it works. You may have heard of the turnip stock market. It's something you should absolutely be making use of. Every Sunday between 7 AM and 12 PM, a visitor to your island, Daisy May, will sell you turnips for around 100 bells for 10 turnips. These turnips, in turn, will then sell to Timmy and Tommy at the store. While they're not easily available since Daisy May isn't around after Sunday, their value goes up. It's important to be aware that turnips will go off and rot after just 7 days. So before the next Sunday rolls around, you need to sell them. Timmy and Tommy will change their turnip rates twice a day, once when they open at 8 AM and then again at 12 PM. So make sure you're checking these prices regularly whenever you can before the turnips rot, and then try to sell them for a good price compared to what you bought them for. There's some serious profit potential here if you get some good rates, more than doubling what you put in. But for those of you with online play and some friends, make sure to check with them regularly about their current turnip rates. Your chances of getting a good rate skyrocket when there's more people involved in helping out, since you can easily and happily go to a friend's island and sell your turnips there instead if they've got a good rate. Finally, for our last tip, consider mystery islands. For many reasons, these are fantastic even when you get the common ones, and an absolute jackpot when you get a rare one. For just 2,000 Nook miles, you can buy a ticket to one of these mystery islands, and these islands generally have great spawns for bugs, fish, and other random goodies. Rare, special islands yield insane resources and money-making potential, if you're lucky enough to find one, that is. I've actually made a full video covering every island, the percent to get them, and how to make the most out of each one, thanks to new data mined information by Animal Crossing player Ninja, so I strongly recommend you check that video out. But basically, every time you buy a ticket, it's like rolling a dice. Sometimes you get an alright island, and sometimes you win big. There's money rock islands, tarantula farming islands, fin island for shark fishing, and so on. So try to bring only the essentials, a roster of fresh tools, and as much free space as you can get to bring back as many goodies as you can carry. A good rule of thumb is to visit islands regularly, so you're always trying your luck. But hey, if you've got lots of miles to throw right now, then there's no reason you can't just go explore islands back to back to back, making good money while you do it. And remember, while you're out there, shake every tree. Just like your island, there's always a furniture tree to grab for extra loot. But there you have it, some of my top tips for making money in Animal Crossings every day without any time travel or, well, exploits needed. Both the purists and exploit users can hopefully find something useful in this video, and if you did, please hit like to help others see the video too. If I missed anything, or you've got your own tip for making bells, drop a comment. Either way, I've been Hollow, you've been you, and I will see you next time for more Animal Crossing.